What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with a quick look at a couple things, really. I got some new Injora goodies for the TRX4M here, and I just kind of wanted to toss them all in to one video. So I picked up the new oil-filled shocks for the TRX4M, and I've seen a lot of people saying, they're the same thing as stock. They're a little better, and I'm going to talk about why. Then I got these new crawler tires from Injora. Basically, they're a little bit bigger version of the KLR tread that they kind of offered in these like a year ago or something. So really excited to run those. A little bit wider. I like kind of the size and the width of them. I really liked these tires when they came out, and I haven't ran them a lot since because so many good tires came out right after that. But these do kind of remind me a lot of the 64 millimeter Hyrax, whatever, from Injora. Very similar width and height and everything. Tiny bit shorter than those. So I'm pretty excited to run these, but they are pretty stiff out of the pack. The foam in them was very stiff. So I swapped it to something a little more like this in the rear. And then in the front, I'm running some Flubber SV4s or something like that. Yes, my front tires are backwards. I always run my KLRs on 10 scale like that. And so I just did it on these. Half the time I don't even look at that. I don't think it really matters that much. But I did take the springs off of the front shocks just so this thing will ride a little lower, hopefully. You can see I'm running my laydown mount that I made for the TRX4M. This one is still the first one I made, and I was playing around with mounting my battery here. That's why my servo is off-centered and jacked up, but basically I just made this little thing and 3D printed it, and then I drilled the holes I needed and whatnot. But there's a couple companies offering this kit now, and I've pre-ordered a couple of them, so I'm just waiting for those to come, and I'll switch it to one of those when it gets here, because this is really the only TRX4M I'm running anymore. I really like this build. It's a lot of fun to drive. I've got the Injora high clearance links on here. The fronts, you can see I had to kind of turn them because I was hitting, the bottom link was hitting the upper, and it was stopping my travel there. So by turning it a little bit, you can see when it's like that, it was hitting really bad and limiting my travel. So hopefully they'll kind of stay like that. But that's one issue with them. I may have to grind that down a little bit or something. But as far as the shocks go, these shocks, a couple things they offer, they're a little bit longer than stock, a little longer travel to them. So I think you can see right there. So they have a little more travel than stock. The spring rate feels much better. It's not as stiff or cheap feeling as the stock one. And then I like that it has the collar here for adjusting your preload, whereas even the aluminum ones, these Traxxas aluminum, don't have that. This is your stock Traxxas shock here. I bought these when I picked up my TRX4M, the very first one, hoping that these shocks were going to be really good, and I just haven't really been a huge fan of them. But I've never even put oil in these, so they were like a $60 waste of money, basically. These do have just a bladder in them. They don't come with oil, so what I did was I'm running this low C15 weight oil in there, and that usually works pretty decent. Hopefully it'll work for these. I have the oil-filled Charismas here. This is kind of an old go-to for the FCX24s because you can see, this is why I don't run these big bodied shocks on the 24s, or really even these often. But if you look, your travel here, the stroke on that shaft, sounds terrible, is basically the same. So you're getting the same amount of travel there with this much smaller bodied, even shorter shock. See that? The difference in the length? So these are really good. They just leak quite a bit. So just kind of wanted to show that. That's why I don't really run like the low-C shocks and stuff that everybody's going to. But I think these will be pretty good. I really just kind of wanted to see how they were on this buggy. So definitely going to go ahead and get this one installed, get some run time on it, and we'll see how everything comes together. This one does have the 349 link riser in the back. I think I'm going to really like that. So I'll get a battery in this thing and get a little running in with it. We'll see how everything does. I got to finish building this shock, throw it on real quick, and then I'll be set. So I got a little time in on the indoor course, and I got to say I love the way these tires are hooking up. Really excited to get outdoors with these. The suspension seemed a little stiff, especially in the rear end, so I've already reworked those rear shocks, rebled them, got them a little softer, but I may end up just pulling the springs completely. These rigs are so light that with the oil in there, it's usually enough. You know, the spring rate, unless it's really light, a lot of times it's too much on these because these rigs are so light. So I think, honestly, I can probably get away with no springs in the rear also. I like for that rear to be a little stiffer just so it doesn't squat as much going uphill and stuff. And that's what, like, a lot of this is about, is just testing and tuning. You know, I get asked what's the best shock, what's the best tire, and it all comes down to your setup, what you're running on a lot, just how you prefer things. And you're not going to take any of this stuff really out of the package and it'd be great. These tires were not great out of the package, but just a little work, I think they're really good. Shocks, same way. So a lot of it's testing and tuning and just figuring out what works for you and your truck and your area. So I always try to help people figure that out, but it's a lot. So you'll see this climb right here. Everything I've hit this with, I've had to launch from this rock to the next one to make it, and then just use lots of wheel speed to get up this because it is really slick. And this one's able to get up it pretty easy with these tires. So I think they're going to be really good. Hopefully these shocks don't start to leak over time. That's an issue with some of the smaller oil shocks, but I'll try to get more time in with them and update. I'm going to be doing a little more 10 scale and Capra 18 stuff, I think, just because I'm really enjoying that stuff. The 24s kind of took a hit to me just because there's so many channels getting pushed by these companies and YouTube and everything because it's just all positive, and that's just what these companies, they eat it up. So sometimes I'm like getting pushed to the back of the bus because I don't think a lot of companies like to send me stuff sometimes because I'm just going to be honest about it. And that's never going to change. But I'm also just not going to do what they want me to do and be on a schedule and do this and do that. And I'm just going to do what I want to do and what I love and stay true and honest. And so right now I'm kind of enjoying the 10 scale and the Capra 18. So I'm going to start posting some more on those. I'm not going to quit with the 24 stuff because I'll always keep an honest word out there for anything I can get my hands on and anything I'm enjoying. And I still love my 24s. I'm just kind of tired of everybody trying to capitalize on the popularity of them. Everybody trying to make a buck. Everybody trying to blow up a YouTube channel because of the 24s. And so they just took a little hit for me. So I'm just kind of going to do what I'm enjoying. And so I guess you guys are going to get a little more 10 scale and 18 stuff from me. But hopefully I'll still just be doing all the 24 stuff too. So I stay pretty covered up now, but I'm going to do more because it's what I want to do, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. So definitely not slowing down on the 24 stuff. It's what I started this channel on, really, and when I started it, there wasn't a lot of people doing it, and it really just kind of like got me motivated to do it. Now it's kind of like having that old favorite shirt that is yours. It's worn out. You're really the only one that has one kind of like it. And then you look up and somebody's made 10 bajillion of them and everybody is wearing the same exact shirt and you're just like, bleh. So I just kind of want to do a few things a little different and change it up a little bit. I got a new series I'm thinking about doing that would be really cool. I think some people have suggested, so definitely stay tuned for that. A lot of stuff coming up. I really appreciate you guys. You have made the channel. You make what it is. You motivate me. You keep me going no matter what. But I just want to maybe show some of the other things I enjoy. So I hope you guys look forward to seeing what the future holds, and I appreciate every single person. Thank you so much. Peace.